What's up, everybody, and welcome on back to the episode of the My Side of Things podcast. This is now episode 28. I'm your host, as always. I don't think I did 28 that time. I think that was like 19 or 18, something like that. But I'm your host, as always, Ash. We got a whole lot of things on the docket to get to today, including talking about Cody and Brandi's comments on their departure from AEW. We also got to talk a few things AEW as well, including the Hangman, Will, and Swerve promo, Ricochet potentially joining a faction, Kyle Fletcher leaving a faction, Mercedes and Toni promo, Thekla made her debut. Where does she go from here? We're also going to be doing a little thing I like to call Indie Spotlight of the Week. It is not unique by any means, but you know what, though? It don't really matter. But I'll go into a little bit of that later on when we do get to that. We'll close the show off with that. But first, though, as always, whether you're listening to this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you hit the like, follow, share, rate, comment, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and all that great stuff. I also did forget to say we're going to be talking about WWE's Counter-Booking as well. And you know what? Let's go ahead and lead off with that because I think it transitions into our other stuff really, really well. So it's been reported that WWE now is going to be having NXT do the 2300, and I think that's Philadelphia. Yeah, I think Philadelphia. The 2300 building in Philadelphia that AEW is going to be doing. They're going to be doing that the week before AEW does it. Then there's also the stuff with, obviously, NXT Battleground being booked the last second to be the exact same day as AEW's Double or Nothing. Now we're hearing reports that Evolution is going to be the exact same day as All In. So it's like a lot of just very obvious counter booking. Not even just that, though. The Saturday night's main event as well is also going to be basically the same day as All In. I think it's like a day before All In. And this past Saturday night's main event was also a day before All In, which, funny enough, I found to be odd because I thought what was going to happen with Saturday night's main event was they were going to be the start or end of every quarter. So you would have January, February, March. We had one in January. Then it would go April, May, June. I thought one was going to be in June, not in May. It seemed really odd to be in the middle of the quarter. And then it's July, August, September. Now we're starting the quarter with it. So we started the quarter, went to the middle of the quarter, started the quarter, and then we're going to end the quarter with, what is that? Where we at? July, August, September, and then October, November, December. Are we still going to do it in December, or are we going to do it in October to counter, what is that, Full Gear, I think that is? That could be something else, but I'm pretty sure it's Full Gear. No, I think Full Gear is November. There's another pay-per-view before Full Gear, though. It's either in October or November, one of the two. But are we going to keep doing that? Like, is that going to be the play there? And then the pay-per-views and all that, the PLEs, they're going to be the exact, like the NXT PLEs at least, are going to be the exact same day as AEW ones. Look, I'm all for competition. I'm not for bad tribalism, though. And WWE has already kind of shown their hand with some of their takes that they've had about AEW. I know Triple H has, said that competition is good and all that stuff, but Nick Khan has made some very, in my opinion, dumbass comments of we don't sign people and just not use them when there's like a whole roster of people that they ain't using right now. And I think the worst part about all this, though, is because this kind of leads into the whole tribalistic take, or like, I guess the tribalism in a sense, is that you're booking the exact same day, looking low-key like a bully. Like, you got like 2 or 3 pay-per-views surrounding a WWE one. Like, I could see if it was one. I could see if it was just NXT or just WWE. That's fine. That's like when an artist and like another artist drop the exact same day. But imagine if, like, let's say Kendrick and J. Cole dropped, right? And we have like Kendrick's group of TDE. So let's say Kendrick drops, and also Schoolboy Q, and also Absol, and also J-Rock, and also Isaiah Rashad, or even SZA, or just somebody all signed to that like top dollar crew, and it's only J. Cole that drops that day. Now it's like, okay, bro, for real, you had to get the whole group just to be dropping the exact same day, or y'all all gonna be like surrounding J. Cole's, his album release as well. Like, that just feels like it's more so bullying and less so competitive. Like, WWE has multiple things to all drop the exact same day. AEW doesn't have that because they're not technically trying to do that. Like, AEW is the smaller guy, so why would they want to drop multiple on the same day? It doesn't really make any sense, and it doesn't really make much sense from an AEW standpoint because the only other thing you can really do is Ring of Honor. But why would you want Ring of Honor and AEW to constantly be like one day apart from each other? That doesn't really look the greatest, especially when you already have like Dynamite and then Ring of Honor Thursdays happening like one day apart from each other. So it's like you wouldn't want to do that. And it also looks like bullying again from just WWE side because it's like you're the bigger guy. you should not be looking at AEW and being like, we need to take fans from AEW because we're scared that AEW is going to overtake us. WWE is a dynasty. There's no way, unless TKO just completely shits the bed, there's no way that WWE could have that astronomical of a fall off. And even if it did, people are still going to know the 3 letters WWE more than they would AEW. It's just not going to be a thing. AEW, I don't think it could ever overtake WWE unless they just did something so damn heinous. Like, I'm going to be real with you. These guys would have to do the most heinous act in the world just to actually get overtaken by AEW. And even then, it would still take a lot of years for them to do so. So it's like, I think the competition, it's good when it's healthy. Like, when it was healthy, Tribal Chief, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page. You had MJF as well. You had CM Punk there. Like, that's when it's healthy, is when both companies look great. When it's not healthy is right now, where WWE is more focused on counter-booking than they are actually booking. You know, booking some proper stuff going on over there. The Seth Rollins faction is kind of just looking like whatever. You got folks agreeing with Dave Meltzer, of all people. Which, mind you, WWE fans don't even like Dave Meltzer. So the fact that they're actually agreeing with Dave Meltzer and be like, you know what, maybe the Seth Rollins faction isn't really looking the greatest right now. When you got John Cena's retirement tour, and this is the storyline that we decided to do with it, this weird heel storyline that isn't actually that good, when you got people saying that the best heel turn this year might have actually been in another company, like not even just AEW, but like in another company in general, like, that's not good. That's not good. And WWE has had a really bad year. It's just a very safe thing to say. It's been one of the worst years. When you got folks saying that they would rather have Vince McMahon booking right now than to have Triple H, and them saying that maybe Vince McMahon actually ran WWE better than Triple H and TKO, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when it's like, ooh, maybe this whole competitive thing ain't working that well for WWE, because when Vince was in charge, I hate to be like this person that kind of like bigs up Vince, but like when Vince was in charge and AEW and WWE were going blow to blow with each other, WWE looked great. Vince McMahon created what? Tribal Chief. He also had Bayley and Sasha going at each other and finally gave Sasha a dang big win for the first time ever. He had the mid-card looking amazing. The tag teams are looking pretty dang good. Nowadays, it's just the top card and the rest of the card just looks like whatever. Like, you got 2 or 3 storylines really going on Raw right now. 2 of them are basically intertwined with each other. The Jey Uso stuff with the Seth Rollins stuff, and then you also you have everything in your top card basically intertwined. You have Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, all involved in the exact same storyline. You could really throw Gunther in there as well because he's trying to get the World Heavyweight title. You have Jey Uso in 5 different dang storylines, 2 of which he probably doesn't even need to be in. You got Dominic Mysterio. You're doing the exact same thing with Judgment Day that you did last year, that you did also the year before that. It's like, why? Like, we're doing repetitive storylines, and we're having our world champion basically be shoved down everybody's throats. Rhea Ripley shoved down everybody's throats. It's like, all of the stars they want to push, they just shove them down everybody's throats so that you have to like them, so that they keep getting merch sales. And it's like, okay, cool, merch sales are great. When does the product become great again, though? When does that become great again? Does it never become great again? I hate to say this about WWE, but like, WWE is low-key becoming UFC, where there's just not much interesting happening in UFC right now, and a large part of it is because of TKO. That's just what it is, because of Dana White as well. You could throw him in there too, and WWE is kind of failing right now because of another bald man in Triple H. In TKO, Triple H is a money-hungry dude as well. That's why he's kind of allowing TKO to do whatever they want to do. He's not even trying to put his foot down by any means. Vince McMahon, he would put his foot down when it came to TKO. They wouldn't be able to do X, Y, Z. You didn't have all these dang ads everywhere. You didn't have Prime always being outside the damn ring every single time. You didn't have all your damn wrestlers drinking Prime every single damn time. Like, it's gotten to the point where it's like, WWE is ad filled. WWE is commercial filled. Even when there's not a commercial going on, there's a commercial going on because they're promoting something during the show. Like they promoted those two I don't know their name, but the two white dudes, their show on Netflix, they promoted that show at least 4 or 5 times. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's like, what is so it's like you're more focused on counter-booking AEW and halting them, and by doing so, AEW is having easily its best year, and this could low-key be argued to be one of the best years in wrestling ever with every amazing thing going on right now, and you're hurting your own product by doing so. And it's like, at what point in time do you say, maybe we should stop counter-booking them, and instead we should just start focusing on our own product? I don't know when WWE does that, because TKO is just money hungry. They're going right back to Vegas. I know people were kind of iffy on New Orleans, but like, you promised New Orleans the damn WrestleMania next year, and then you're like, yeah, I know, let's go back to Vegas. But we all know why they're going back to Vegas. It's not because they want to get the fans' reception. No, it's because they want to get money. They had one of the biggest gates they ever had this year. These dudes are walking out with the damn pants around their ankles. That's how much money they actually had in their damn pockets. And next year, they ain't going to be able even to probably be even able to walk. Them men are going to be just literally stopped in their place because of all the money they're going to get. But the problem is, or well, I guess what I should say is that true though? Is Ash 100% right about that? Are they going to get the same money next year they got this year? Because you didn't sell out this year. Mind you, they sold out WrestleMania 40. You sold out 39. But you didn't sell out 41 when the main events were Roman, Seth, and Punk, Cena, and Cody? You didn't sell out that? You had Rhea, Bianca, and Io having a match. You had Tiffany and Charlotte having a match. You had Rey Fenix there. You had Penta, Dom, Braun, and Finn. Well, I mean, I probably shouldn't have included Finn, but whatever. Maybe that was the one where everyone was like, ugh, maybe I'm not going to buy a ticket. Hey, look at me. I'm on my hate Finn Balor way right now because this man's getting $7 million, and that's why he's staying in WWE. One day I'm going to have a talk about Finn Balor's career in WWE, because this is actually probably the worst looking career that I've seen, especially from like a top guy coming over to WWE. But I'll talk about that in the future though. But yeah, no, it's like, what do you do next year that's going to be better than this year? Like, what main event are you going to throw together next year? Because this, like, on paper, if you were to look at this WrestleMania and every WrestleMania ever, this looks like a top 5 WrestleMania, just on paper. The amount of superstars you have there. If you were to tell somebody last year that next year's WrestleMania main event is going to be Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, people would be like, oh yes, I am buying the tickets. I don't care how much they cost. If I told y'all that John Cena is going to turn heel next year and him and Cody are going to have a main event match, they're going to be like, what? John Cena turning heel versus Cody Rhodes? Oh, yes. If I told somebody that Rhea, Bianca, and Io were going to be fighting for the Women's World Championship, they're going to be like, what the? Oh, just take all my money. But then they didn't, they didn't fill out this year. They didn't fill out this year, even though they had this all-star just freaking lineup. Like, this looks like the most beautiful lineup on paper until you see how everything kind of like just played out going into Mania. The stories were boring. Rhea, Bianca, Io was a boring story. Seth Punk and Roman was just decent. Tiffany versus Charlotte got weird towards the second half of it. Jay and Gunther was boring as hell. Cody and Cena was really good promos. The feud was just kind of whatever. Like, if you look beneath the promos, the feud's just, sure, why not? I guess. And like a lot of these other things, like Braun, Penta, Dom, Finn had literally no buildup whatsoever. You could have had AJ in there. You didn't do that. AJ and Logan had a horrible buildup. What was the other match? Jacob and LA Knight had a whatever buildup. Like, there wasn't really much there. Hell, El Grande and Rey Fenix had literally no buildup at all. So it's like, when is it going to be a thing for WWE to be like, let's stop focusing on the counter booking because it's hurting us and start focusing on WWE? I don't know when, because AEW is only going to get better and better. Also, another dumb thing about this as well, which is why it's like one of the worst business tactics ever. Why would you want to book a bunch of shows around AEW and make it more and more obvious that you're booking around AEW? Because then you're literally giving publicity to AEW. That makes zero sense. You're gonna put 3-4 shows on the same night. And then you're going to you're going to continuously do this to the point where people are going to realize what you're doing, and then they're going to see AEW show there and be like, oh, what's this company right here? Let me go check this dang thing out. Especially when the shows aren't even really that good to begin with, man. So it's like, I don't know, man. But speaking of AEW though, let's go ahead and talk about Codyverse. Oh man, that was a weird time in AEW. Let's go ahead and talk about Cody Rhodes and Brandi Rhodes. I don't know why I forgot her last name for a second, but Cody Rhodes and no, it's Cody with Brandi Rhodes. Oh man, if y'all were there for those weird times in AEW when they would announce both of them, but they wouldn't announce Cody's last name, like it was so odd. But Cody Rhodes and Brandi had some interesting comments on their podcast, which I completely forgot to pull up like a dumbass. So we're going to start with Cody's comments, and then we'll talk about Brandi's afterwards. So Cody says, we're not going to get too far into it, but when we left the alternative promotion, we were also slightly rewritten. We were were portrayed very Dark Knight-esque. Now, I think that this is literally talking about the Batman Dark Knight movie. Now, I have written down here that Cody is basically taking on the villain role the same way Batman took on the villain role in Dark Knight, because the whole thing with Two-Face and all that stuff, like how he was before portrayed as like the hero of Gotham, I want to say. Yeah, Gotham. I always forget freaking that damn town's name. I always get it mixed up with a whole other town that Peter Parker's in. I don't know why. Mind you, I don't care for either one of these dudes, so that's probably the reason why. But yeah, Two-Face had the whole thing with Joker, and then eventually Two-Face started going on like this whole crazy psychotic thing and all that stuff. And then Batman basically took the fall for all of it and became the didn't really become the Dark Knight, but kind of became the Dark Knight in a sense, because like obviously Two-Face was called the White Knight, so the Dark Knight, dark, evil, all that stuff. Japan, y'all really gotta stop this, man. It's not even Japan, but like Japan basically freaking started the whole thing with black being evil and all that, man. Goodness gracious. Which is crazy because America has slavery. And Europe had colonization. But anyways, with Batman, he basically took on like the whole being the evil or being the villain and all that stuff. And with Cody, I'm wondering if it's the exact same thing, because we don't really know what happened with Cody and AEW, and we're probably never going to know. But one of the things that we do at least somewhat know is that Tony Khan took a lot of the creative control away from the elites of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, because they were booking themselves to lose too much, like in like very big matches that Tony Khan felt like they should have won. I think one of them was the Kenny Omega Chris Jericho match, and the other one was the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros. I guess again, reportedly, I don't know how true this is, that he wanted his guys to go over because it's AEW's very first big event, and that they probably should have gone over. To each their own on that one. I've talked to mutuals who have said that maybe Chris Jericho was a better decision, maybe Kenny Omega was a better decision. I think the Young Bucks probably were the better decision there. I can't remember if that was for the AAA tag team championships though. If it was, then no, the Lucha Bros make the best sense. If that was for the that was for the AAA tag team champions. Yeah, because the Lucha Bros didn't get the AEW World Tag Team Champions until way later on. But as far as Cody though, I don't know if he ever took his creative control away, because of the fact that Cody eventually booked himself into like a really weird spot where he could never get the AEW World Championship again after losing to, I think, Chris Jericho. It was just like, why would you do that? It felt so weird. I think Cody's comments were that he never wanted to look like he had too much creative control, and that, he was running AEW and all this stuff, and that's why he got the belt, because they really wouldn't allow him to be a babyface. I've said before, and I'll say it again, Cody, just make yourself be the damn AEW World Champion. Nobody actually cares. And then it just like, it got really weird later on with Cody, because it's like Cody started like booking himself into all these like weird storylines that became so separate of AEW that it felt like Tony Khan just never took away his creative control. They took away the Young Bucks, took away Kenny Omega's, but never took away Cody Rhodes. And it's like, this dude was feuding with, Anthony Ogobo. He was feuding with QT Marshall. He was feuding with Malachi Black. And they all just felt weird in a sense. They all just felt like, okay, I guess. Why are you not involved in any of the elite stuff, though? Why are you not joining up with this group, especially when you came in with them? That's a big reason why everybody wanted Cody Rhodes to turn heel, was because the elite and the Young Bucks were literally heels. You came in with them. Why are you not a heel as well? So I do understand it from that point of view. There's also the other thing, though, that I have written down here, and it's that Cody's similar to Batman. He may be taking the fall so that AEW doesn't suffer similar to Batman and Two-Face. AEW is the alternative to WWE and has a great chance of clearing every other company by an even larger gap this year, excluding WWE, obviously, and become a mainstay powerhouse. Because of this, it'll be yet another place that wrestlers can go to, very similar to ECW, because if you remember that whole promo with Cody and Paul Heyman, he talked about what ECW did do for Dusty Rhodes, and I think Cody looks at it the exact same way, that there's going to be a lot of people who won't make it in WWE that probably should, himself being one of them that really should have made it and shouldn't have had to have left, because I thought Cody was always really great. Dashing Cody, undashing Cody, Stardust. I loved the Road Scholars. Like, I loved a lot of stuff that Cody was doing. And I think Cody looks at it the exact same way, is that he shouldn't have failed. Drew McIntyre shouldn't have failed. They just weren't. I mean, well, it's not really they weren't. It's that the roster was too full with other stars. Well, by having AEW become a top 2 powerhouse and actually being a mainstay that lasts 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years, being something that's like timeless in a sense, no pun intended, it's only going to help wrestling more. Wrestlers are going to be able to have a alternative to go to. They don't have to go to WWE. Maybe they don't even fit WWE, and they'll be able to go to AEW and have a beautiful career and be able to do the thing that they want to do, hopefully, or at least, be able to get paid. In a sense, get paid, be able to feed their families and all that stuff. So I think that's the other reason why Cody doesn't probably want to tear down AEW, because maybe something did happen between him and the Young Bucks, him and Kenny, him and Tony Khan, that is like, a very big major thing. But Cody's like, well, I'm not going to tear them down, because why would I? Like, yeah, I might have issues with the Young Bucks or Tony or Kenny, but I don't have issues with wrestlers trying to, get paid. Like, I don't have an issue with Swerve Strickland or Jon Moxley or Tony Storm or Mercedes Moné or any of these people. Heck, I guarantee you that Cody's probably even like telling a lot of wrestlers, go to AEW. I guarantee you someone like Swerve, someone like Tony, someone like Mercedes, I guarantee you that he probably pushed them to go to AEW because they would be able to have a big career. Look at Swerve Strickland now, is an absolute star, has a whole shoe with Reebok, which I low-key might even be picking up, I ain't gonna lie to you. But like, these guys were able to become stars. Look at MJF. MJF might not have survived in WWE, or at least wouldn't be looked at the way he looks right now. So it's like, this was actually really great for them. And then I continue to go on by saying, and then I go on by talking about Brandi. But let me go ahead and bring up Brandi's comments, because Brandi says, "No, believe it. All for me. Let the darkness in. Just enhances my beauty. I'm like the wicked stepmother or something." And I think Brandi Rhodes was more so just saying that. I think she was kind of like just doubling down the whole entire thing that, yeah, we're going to enhance the darkness. We're the bad ones. Okay, you know what? We are the bad ones, because think about it like this. When Cody started like leaving AEW, and it got like really weird in a sense, like he started the Codyverse stuff and all that, fans were kind of over Cody Rhodes. So by Cody leaving, they knew it was going to suck because it's super duper mega star, and that sucks to lose somebody like that. It's like losing LeBron James, but it also allowed them to cheer their guys on more, because if Cody was able to make it away from WWE and TNA and Ring of Honor and New Japan and AEW, why can't their guys get big? Why can't MJF become a super duper mega star? Why can't Kenny Omega become an even bigger super duper mega star? Why can't Jack Perry / Jungle Boy? Why can't Darby Allin? Why can't any of these other wrestlers on the roster? Why can't they become Cody Rhodes? So what it allowed for them to do, in a sense, for AEW fans, is to cheer on their wrestlers more and, support their wrestlers more. So really, when you look at what Cody did, I think, my bad. If you look at Cody's comments on it, and you look at Cody's never really spoken bad about AEW, he's kind of like taking like little jabs here and there, but I think that's just messing around in a sense. I think it's more so like just like kind of like fuel the fire, because anytime Cody Rhodes takes a shot, it's like, okay, now AEW fans really got to double down on their guys. Other folk like Seth Rollins and all them, and Triple H and Nick Khan and all that, I don't think that really matters too much to AEW fans, because they already know kind of like how they are, but Cody was their guy. Cody was there at one point in time. He helped start the company. So it's like, I think Cody, in a sense, but I don't want to say he did it on purpose, because it would be like so crazy to say that, he just like ruined his AEW career on purpose. But you could also make a claim that he already knew that he was going to be leaving. He knew that he was always going to be WWE. And maybe this is what, really rubbed the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Tony Khan the wrong way was that finishing the story should have just been a world championship and not a WWE championship. But for Cody, it was always going to be the WWE championship. That may have rubbed them wrong. But I think Cody might have also looked at his time at AEW as part of like, okay, I'm going to be here for a few years max. I'm just going to build this company up some, and then I'm going to leave. Maybe kind of, let me go out as the big bad guy. Let me go out as the most hated guy in AEW. That way, the White Knights, the MJF, the who was there around that time? The Hangman Adam Pages, the Jack Perrys, the Darby Allins, and all these other guys, they can become the stars the same way Two-Face was still looked at as a good guy because Batman took on the role of the villain. Batman took all the stuff that Two-Face did and put it onto himself. So I think that's what Cody Rhodes is just more so saying. Like, I don't think we ever really need to get the truth between Cody and AEW, because even if it is just like this was actually the reason why he did leave, we don't need to know this, because then it just ruins the whole thing. It ruins the entire thing, and AEW fans are actually going to love Cody more, and maybe one day if he comes back, maybe they will. I don't know, or maybe like he will explain it. But if AEW fans don't have a Cody, sure, they're gonna have WWE, but I think with Cody, it's just a bit more because every AEW fan wanted to love Cody. CM Punk, they kind of probably always figured that he was gonna go back to WWE, but Cody was their guy. Cody was the number one for them. So like, to lose Cody, it hurt them on a different level. It's like your first love, in a sense, was what Cody Rhodes was. So, yeah, I don't think Cody is, like, taking any shots at AEW or trying to, say that anybody was trying to ruin him or anything like that. I don't even think Brandi was doing that either. I think that they were just putting it out there for the people like myself and others that can look a little past the lines, or maybe, we can get all of the hate fog and just push it to the side and stuff like that for us to be able to look at it and say, that's why you left. And again, I'm not even saying I'm 100% correct. I'm just saying that I'm probably more correct than I am wrong. I will say that. But you know what? Speaking of, I was gonna say speaking of Darby Allin, but I don't have any actual topics here about Darby Allin. Oh wait, yeah, I do. Well, no, I don't actually. Never mind, that was a TikTok thing. Well, speaking of Hangman Adam Page, there we go. Was Hangman Adam Page not one of the four pillars? Why was he not one of the four pillars? I never understood that, because it was MJF, it was Sammy Guevara, it was Darby Allin, and it was Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Why did I say Jack Perry / Jungle Boy? I always forget that Jack Perry was actually called Jack Perry when he was Jungle Boy. I really missed Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, by the way. Just like a little random thing. I really miss it, man. I was watching what was it called? Damn, I forgot that damn gaming channel. The one that Deadlock Pro Wrestling's co-owner, he has like the gaming channel and all that stuff. I freaking always forget the name. New Legacy Gaming or something like that, or New Legacy Inc. One or two. I was watching do like a little AEW, like the Road to Glory or the Road to All In thing. I think that's what it's called. And they were running. It was like the point where it was like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and all that. I really missed that group, man. I mean, that little tag team. That was a pretty cool tag team. That was a pretty damn cool tag team, man. I really, really liked them. And I hope that one day Jack Perry does go back to, maybe not like Jungle Boy, but like does go back to the good side, man. We need him to. And you know what? Let's go ahead and add it on. I think Darby Allin's returning soon. Not to get after Moxley, although he is going to get his get back one day on Moxley. I think that's what's going to put Darby Allin fully over. I think Darby Allin's going to come back to play a very intricate part in this Team AEW versus versus Death Riders Elite thing. Look at me trying to start Team AEW versus WWE. Darby Allin would definitely be on the forefront, by the way, one way or another. But I think Darby Allin, though, is going to play a part in it. I guess kind of also goes into the Hangman Will Swerve promo, which is beautiful, by the way. I think the part he's going to play is trying to either bring Jack Perry back to the good side or officially just put the nail in the coffin of Jack Perry. Yes, they did have their feud last year. Yes, it was a very, very personal feud. They also had their feud back in 2023, I think. Yeah, Double or Nothing, when they were going to that Four Pillars match where Darby was telling Jack Perry that you don't have the guts to stand on your own, and Perry was telling Darby that you're still relying on Sting, and you're a very dangerous man, that you're someone that really can't carry the company because you might not even be around for the entire time and stuff like that. So it's like, I think that this could be the redemption story for Jack Perry. I'm going to lean towards that way and not towards the way that it's going to be Jack Perry being put down by Darby, only because I think this AEW's theme is redemption. You have Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. You have Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm. You say, well, how is that redemption storyline? Well, it's a redemption for Mercedes Moné because she never got any kind of big moments in WWE. She never got her big win at WrestleMania, even though she probably should have at least once or twice. And she was like a multi-time women's champion, but she only had one of the, but only her SmackDown Women's Women. Goodness, what did I just say? Only her SmackDown Women's World Championship run did it ever actually have any kind of success with the title defenses. The other 5, she had no successful title defenses. So I think this could be her redemption and, you know, kind of like just the closing on the fact that she is one of the greats. You're going to have probably one of these tag teams having some kind of redemption storyline as well, whether it be one of these tag teams. What the hell? There's only one. I'm getting AEW and WWE mixed up because the double tag teams in WWE. But I think some like I think Hurt Syndicate could possibly lose their titles at AEW. I mean, at All In. Or there's a world where Edge and Christian, you know, finally work together again and they go over FTR. I can see that happening as well. So I think Darby Allin is going to probably face off against Jack Perry at All In one more time, whether it's in the 0 Hour show, whether it's on the main show, who the heck knows. But I think he's going to get his big match against another big match against Jack Perry. Or, again, he's going to bring him over to the good side. And if that is the case, I don't think they have a match at All In then. I think he'll probably have a match or probably be getting through or trying to get through to Jack Perry on the lead up to All In. And then when it comes time to for Jack Perry to finally pick a side, that's where I think he's going to pick Team AEW. Because right now, you have Hangman going against Moxley. You're likely going to have Will and Swerve going against the Young Bucks. You're going to have Kenny Omega dealing with Kazuchika Okada to finish off the rest of to finish off 3/4 of the Elite. You're likely going to have Eddie Kingston come back to deal with Gabe Kidd. You'll have the Ops to be dealing with, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac. You'll have Willow Nightingale dealing with, what's her name? Marina Shafir. So it's like the only other one left is Darby and Jack Perry, and I think this is where Jack Perry might come back to the good side finally. And he did say too that to Daniel Garcia that you don't know what's coming, that you're not ready that you're not ready for the truth and all that stuff. Jon Moxley also told him that, you know, you're a very reliable soldier. He said something else to him as well. I forgot exactly what he said. I think Jack Perry's going to play a very big part in this. The one that's a very odd factor in this entire thing is Hook. Because Hook throws a, no pun intended, but a hook in this whole entire thing. Or is it throw a wrench in this whole entire thing? I think it actually is a wrench, huh? I don't know. I'm actually pretty sure it is a wrench. Whatever. You know, he throws a hook and a wrench. He actually tapes a hook to him. No, he tapes a wrench and a hook to himself, and then he throws himself the hook and the wrench. So now it's throwing a hook 2 times. It's a double hook. Ooh, double hook. Everybody loves double hooks these days, man. I would love some more damn double hooks in these songs because, my goodness, man, I'll be getting 1 hook a song and be like, damn, dude, and I got to play the whole damn song all over again. Like, bro, just give me 2 hooks in the song. My goodness. But yeah, no, I think Hook is going to be the interesting factor in all this because we did not see him on Dynamite this past week. We know about the whole stuff with him and the Ops now. There's some issues going to be boiling up there. Who the heck knows what happens with that? So he's like the one guy that does make me wonder, does Darby go to Hook or does Darby go to Perry? Like, does Darby try to get Hook back on the good side or does he try to get Perry on the good side? And then does eventually Hook and Darby go at it? I mean, Hook and Perry go at it? Does Hook go or start going bad and then Taz pleads with Darby to get Hook back on the good side because he really respects Darby. Also, I mean, Hook is, Taz's son and all that stuff. I think at least. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like his biological son. So it's like, I don't know what the hell Hook's whole role in this. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like that was a really weird curveball that AEW threw at us because I'm like, okay. I mean, because like at first I'm like, okay, you know what? Hook and Darby, I think I might have said that even on the live stream as well. But now I'm just like, well, damn, I forgot about Perry. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe a Hook is persuaded by maybe Sting returns and then he persuades. No, that wouldn't make any sense. Maybe Taz is able to get Hook back on the good side. But, like, I don't know, man. I mean, we definitely could see, like, a very powerful moment between Taz and Hook, and I would love to see that, me personally. I don't know. I think he throws, like, a really weird, hook and wrench into this whole entire thing. So, y'all let me know down below, or, like, wherever you're listening to this at, or, again, Just whisper it to me and I will hear it. Y'all let me know down below. What do y'all think Hook's role in this whole entire Team AEW versus Death Riders and Elite storyline is? I guess you can also say the War Dogs as well because Gabe Kidd. But as far as like the whole Hangman, Will, and Swerve promo, this was just segment. This is just absolutely amazing. Hangman comes out and he's talking about the Owen Hart and all that stuff, and he's giving Ospreay his props and that Ospreay really helped him get back to the good side and stuff like that. We got Swerve coming out, and finally it's being addressed with the whole thing. The Young Bucks said they did it for Hangman and all that. Swerve called bullshit on it, said that I don't believe anything that you're saying, that I think that, you know, well, no, he said that this is all bullshit, and then Will Ospreay would come out. Will's trying to plead with, trying to plead with both of them to get these guys to be on the same page because he knows that's going to take everybody against the Death Riders, against the Elite. And Swerve just done grabbed that. He seen that mic and he said, He's like, get this dumb ass out of here, man. I don't care about any of this. I'm not working with this guy at all. Hangman says the exact same thing. And this is why, for all of the dinguses that said, well, why would you pick Hangman Adam Page over Will Ospreay? Will Ospreay is super dang mega famous. Why would you not want to pick that guy? Because we're telling stories over here, okay? We are telling stories over here. We don't care about super dang mega famous and all that stuff. Although you could say Jamie Hayter, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit, though. But we're telling a story right here. We're telling a beautiful damn story of Hangman Adam Page's redemption arc to finally overcome everything to overcome everything that he's done and all that stuff. For Hangman and Swerve to finally be able to put aside all their stuff and have that man-to-man conversation that these two dudes definitely need to have with each other, because they're very much the same side of the coin, not opposite sides in a sense. They both just want to be the faces of AEW. They both want AEW to be the biggest thing in the world. So really, they're both two of its protectors. They're like, in a sense, you could say that Hangman and Swerve are the guards of the castle. Like, they both just stand right there by the gate, and they're not letting anybody in. You got to get through these two guys. You got to get some kind of permission, something like that. And I think that this is going to be an absolutely amazing next 6 weeks. I'm all here for it, man. I really do hope that I get to go to All In. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go out there, though. But I really, really hope that I get to go to All In, because my goodness, man, I feel like I got to be there in person for that. I just don't know if I have the money or not to be able to go to it. But then we have the stuff with Will, because Will is in a very odd situation here where he's the mediator between both of these guys. And obviously, you know, Will and Hangman, they have a lot of respect for each other. Will and Swerve, they have respect for each other as well. But Will's never really been in this position before where he's had to bring people together. This is not Will's thing. It's always been kind of, you know, either dealing with stuff on his own, or that's really just it. So it's going to be interesting for Will, but I think it's also going to do a lot for Will Ospreay just being a babyface. Like, people are really going to want to see Will Ospreay be the face of AEW going forward, because of the fact that he was able to bring together these two guys and make this beautiful freaking storyline between Hangman and Swerve. But there's also another factor in here that I talked about a second ago that hasn't actually been talked about. Hangman Adam Page is going to not only have to mend fences with Swerve, but Kenny Omega as well. And Will Ospreay is probably going to play a big part in that, and that's why Will and Kenny worked earlier this year together. It seemed a bit odd that Kenny Omega just immediately worked. Well, not immediately worked, because like it took him a while, but like he worked with Will Ospreay. They didn't really have to talk about anything or anything like that. So how's it going to go with Hangman and Kenny? Because that's very personal as well. Is Hangman and Kenny going to be just or is it going to take a few weeks as well? Well, we got about, what is it? I think 6 more weeks left. I don't know if they're going to include Collision or not. But we have, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more weeks. Yeah, we have 6 more weeks, including any kind of collisions as well. So that's going to be very much so interesting as to what happens going forward with Hangman and Kenny, with Hangman and Swerve. Will be able to bring all of these guys together so that they can go against the Death Riders? Or is it going to be a thing of maybe Will's not enough? Maybe this is where Darby Allin steps in. But I also think Darby Allin will be dealing with Jack Perry, so maybe he won't be able to fully get into this. Who the heck knows? But I am just, oh man, this road to All In is about to be a thing of beauty. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. This might be the best road to whether All In or WrestleMania of all freaking time. This really just might be, man. Like, this is going to be a thing of beauty. And we have another thing happening too, which is Ricochet. Ricochet might be joining the crew. He might be getting his own faction. Maybe it's not the crew. Maybe it's somebody else. A lot of people were saying that they would love to see Ricochet. Oh, who was the faction they said? They said they want to see Ricochet joining some faction. It wasn't the Don Callis family. It wasn't the Death Riders. It wasn't the Elite. It was, oh man, I wish I really remember that faction because people were commenting about it. Well, I forgot the name of the faction. Maybe I'll throw them up on the screen. But even then, I probably wouldn't be able to. No, I probably wouldn't. Y'all can let me know down below. Maybe one of y'all will know a faction that Ricochet should be joining instead of the crew. But I would love to see Ricochet potentially join this group because I think he fits right in with this group. I think he fits in with Lio Rush and Action Andretti, which, by the way, Action Andretti and Lio Rush, if y'all happen to be seeing this, those jackets, my guy, come on, just go ahead and, just contact me. We can go ahead and set something up. I'll definitely buy one of them jackets. They look fly as hell. But then again, I seen Anthony Bowens on live talking about how his gear be costing like $700-800. If those jackets cost anywhere near that, never mind. Or, black discount. Black discounts, probably not though. So yeah, but Ricochet would work really well in this group, I think, because it's going to just give them someone that's on the rise of being a star. That's one right there. Two, they all are very much so the thorns in everybody's side heels. Oh my God, could this be AEW's Judgment Day? Ricochet, Lio Rush, Action Andretti, and maybe two women, maybe Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne are still this group. Maybe I gotta stop doing the damn, this will be this version's Judgment Day. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I could see a world where Ricochet does join up with the crew because he did obviously say, a crew, and he was making it very clear. Like, he really put emphasis on that word crew. Either way, I think this is going to be great for Ricochet going forward because right now it's going to be pretty hard to get him into any kind of title pictures because he doesn't really have anybody to work with. So it's like all the titles besides Kenny Omega's, they have people around them. Adam Cole has the Paragon. If Kyle Fletcher gets it, he has the Don Callis family. Kazuchika Okada has the Elite. Obviously, John Moxley is the Death Rider. So, and then the tag team belt, he's not getting a tag team belt because he ain't got a damn team. So it's like, he's going to have to find some way to get people around him to help him out the same way MJF is trying to build up to get some kind of help as well. I wonder what is this all leading to, though, because we still technically have the Hounds of Hell, which might get even bigger now with Sky Blue, maybe even Thekla as well if she joined the group. We have Don Callis family. We have the Hurt Syndicate. We have the Death Riders. We're potentially having the Paragon. Maybe they get a much bigger group as well. It's like, and then obviously Ricochet joining the crew. What does this all lead to, I wonder? Like, does it just continue to lead to, like, out with the old factions and with the new factions? So Death Riders will go down, the Elite will finally go down, maybe even the Paragon, finally goes down. Like, what is it, like maybe it just leads to that. Maybe it leads to, like, some big old faction wars kind of thing in AEW where, like, all the factions are kind of like just going at each other and stuff like that. I don't really know. It's going to be interesting to see what the heck this all leads to. I'm definitely here for it. I love Ricochet. If he does join this group, I think it's going to just be perfect for him to get into that TNT title, especially with, I guess I can go ahead and talk about this. Kyle Fletcher is seemingly leaving the Don Callis family. He got very upset with the fact that Josh Alexander got involved in his match against Adam Cole. He said that he had the win. Obviously, Adam Cole definitely had the win, but he said that he had it right in the bag, and it's interesting because I don't want Kyle Fletcher to become a face. I think he has plenty of more time to continue being a top heel. I think he could be one of AEW's top heels. So it's like, I don't want that to happen, but if there's a world where he does become a face, maybe this is how Ricochet and Kyle Fletcher start feuding. Maybe this is how Ricochet gets the belt off of Kyle Fletcher. Ricochet now with the crew, Kyle Fletcher by himself. He's going to have a much better time of getting that belt off of Kyle Fletcher. So maybe that's what happens. Maybe somehow Ricochet gets involved in this whole entire, TNT championship scene, and then he's able to get the belt because Kyle Fletcher doesn't have his people. Adam Cole, he has his people, but they're not going to get involved because they're all faces unless they really, really need to get involved. But if the crew gets involved and then Paragon gets involved, that's going to cause a whole lot of distraction. Maybe Ricochet's able to get some kind of quick win right there. So I like this for Ricochet. I don't like this for Kyle Fletcher if he does leave the Don Callis family. I really don't want him to. But there could be a world where Kyle Fletcher starts seeming like he's going to leave the group, loses a big match, and then Don Callis gets him right back in the family and says, look, this is what happens. You win against us. You tried leaving like Will Ospreay did. And look at you now. You're titleless. You could have had the gold with us. We could have came out there and helped you get that gold, but nope, you didn't want to do things like that. And then maybe this is how Kyle Fletcher stays within the group and continues to get basically manipulated by Don Callis, because Will Ospreay was able to leave because of the fact that he had gold. He didn't really need Don Callis anymore. Before, he did need him because he didn't have any gold. So I think that could happen with him. Let's talk about Mercedes Moné and Toni next, because the whole Thekla thing, I'm going to go into a much bigger conversation. Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm, that was just a really great promo, man. It was a really, really great promo. It sadly did not get to go on that long, but to be fair, I don't think it needed to go on that long because of the fact that we have 6 weeks to build this up. We should not be rushing this by any means. I also think that we can go really, really personal with this because the fact that these women started bringing up a lot of their WWE stuff. Mercedes said that she went from a boss to a CEO. Toni said that both of them didn't have like the greatest showing in their past. What was it? Past what? I'm stupid. Past promotions was the word I was looking for. I just couldn't think of that damn P word. But yeah, they didn't have like the greatest showing in their past promotions. This is also really cool because somebody reminded me, and I completely forgot about this. Mercedes Moné, before leaving WWE, the last person that she really interacted with was Toni Storm. So this has kind of always been like a thing that's been, just in the works for a while now. That's really damn cool. So yeah, no, I'm definitely, or it actually might have been the other way around. I think Toni Storm hugged Mercedes Moné. Either way. Yeah, anyways. But like, I'm super excited for this feud because I think it's just going to get to that level that we wanted to get to. I think Tony's going to bring up a lot of Mercedes failures. I think Mercedes is going to bring up a lot of Toni's lack of friendships that she's been able to hold on to, whether it be Mariah May, whether it be Alba Fire, and maybe she starts saying that Toni is the one to blame for all this stuff because look how you treat your friends. Maybe you or not even just like treat your friends, maybe like she just said like she's the one to blame, maybe like she was never the good friend. So yeah, how she treats her friends and all that stuff. I am really excited to see where this goes, and man, I think this is gonna be just a beautiful mess of a feud. They already got the little innuendos in there and all that stuff. Toni is amazing, man. The fact that she keeps a straight face while doing all this, which, by the way, they both broke character during that little segment, that was amazing. When Toni said that hopefully your Money train could fit through the storm of the Toni tunnel. Yeah, through the Toni tunnel. Mercedes chuckled, Toni chuckled, but she kind of like hit it a little bit, but it was still very obvious. And then Mercedes was like, well, even your hips aren't big enough for the Money train. Oh man, that's a thing of beauty. Oh my gosh, I'm just so ready for this match, man. I really do hope that it main events All In, because if this match is the main event All In, what match is going to main event All In before the women? I mean, no, what women's match is going to main event a pay-per-view if it's not this one right here, man? This needs to be the one. I love Hangman. I love Moxley. This right here, though, Hangman and Moxley could be the beginning. I know it's probably like a great send-off, and maybe you do want to do that. Oh man, I hate it so much. I really, really do, because it's like, yes, Hangman and Moxley should be the closer, especially for the storyline. But gosh, man, Mercedes and Toni, the two biggest stars in wrestling right now, the two best women's wrestlers on the planet right now, this beautiful damn storyline that could become just one of the greatest storylines. Oh my gosh, man, I really need this to main event, but it probably won't. But there's going to be another great women's match there, I believe, because Thekla debuted and she went after Jamie Hayter, which is interesting because what does that do for Jamie? I made a whole TikTok video on this as of recent. I said, what does this do for Jamie? I don't think we need Jamie losing any more big feuds, at least anytime soon, because of the fact that she's getting back to championship form, and that gives you another woman in that top card spot. That gives you another woman to have big feuds with for your next champion, or even if Toni does retain the belt after All In. So it's like, I don't think that I would run Thekla versus Jamie. Now, apparently Thekla also called out Mina Shirakawa after, saying that Mina's next, so I think Mina could eventually get involved in all this stuff. But I think what could happen is that Thekla could call out Athena, because remember, Thekla had that Ring of Honor Championship match earlier this year against Athena. She really wants the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. She believes that she needs to get that belt. Athena said that she would love to wrestle Thekla again in the States. So I can see a world where Thekla comes out for her next, like whenever she does get like a promo responding to why she did what she did. And she could just basically say something like, losers shouldn't be getting any more opportunities, and I want to make my mark here and all that stuff. I want to get the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Calls out Athena, basically. Athena can make her reappearance in AEW. But then you also throw Jamie Hayter into this as well, because obviously Jamie's going to get involved because, you took my damn head off practically. Nah, I'm getting involved in this. And I think we could even have Billie Starkz get involved in this as well, because I believe that Billie Starkz should, if they have a women's fatal four-way at All In or even Death Before Dishonor, I think it should be All In though. I think Billie Starkz should get the win there. Billie's involvement would be basically she's working with Athena at first, but then eventually just goes full throttle. Oh, my bad. Eventually the push with her goes full throttle. We break Athena and Billie Starkz up finally. She's come close now to beating her twice. I think during this all-in match, I can see a world where Jamie and Thekla get, they go after each other, they start brawling and all that stuff, go out of the ring like how Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre were. And then it's just Billie Starkz and Athena in the ring, and this is where Billie Starkz finally goes over Athena to get the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. This puts Billie up to the top of the women's division for Ring of Honor, gets Athena on over to AEW. And then what I can see happening going forward is that now we run Thekla versus Jamie, but we have some interference from Julia Hart. Julia Hart has unfinished business with Jamie Hayter. Now she has Sky Blue as well, and she has Thekla going after her. That's 3 women to 1 woman, but we're not going to stop there though, because now we bring back Athena to allow Athena to help out Jamie Hayter in this fight against these 3 women. Maybe you even have like Sky Blue, come in last. Or, you have them come in first, however you want to do it. You have like a little tag match with Jamie and with Jamie and Athena versus Sky Blue, or no, Julia Hart and Thekla, or Julia Hart and Sky Blue, and then Thekla gets involved, and then here comes Billie Starkz. Now it's 3-on-3. Have this big this big 6-women's tag match where Thekla pins Billie Starkz, because again, she wants to get the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. By pinning her, this sets up a big feud between these two, where Thekla gets the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter has been protected because she never actually got pinned in any one of these matches. Athena's protected. Sky Blue and Julia Hart could have a feud with these two if they really want to do that. Or, you can then go into the Jamie Hayter and Jamie Hayter and, what did I say her name was? Oh, Julia Hart storyline, finish that off, allow Jamie Hayter to get that big 3rd win. You can start Athena off with Sky Blue. This allows her to get a big win over Sky Blue. And then you just push these women into wherever you want to push them into. Jamie Hayter and Athena can start feuding for the TBS title if the TBS title is vacated by this point, or if Mercedes has lost it, however you want to do that. I can see that world where all of that plays out. Mina Shirakawa could be an interesting one in this whole entire thing, because I could see Mina Shirakawa going, maybe Mina gets attacked by Thekla, by Thekla, not Thekla. I keep thinking it's Thekla because the H's there, but maybe she gets attacked by Thekla at some point in time, and then once Athena gets the belt, Mina Shirakawa goes after Thekla. I could see that being the case right there. I'm not really sure, man. But I think something similar to that could play out, or maybe they all go to the TBS title. Who the heck knows? But I would love to see that play out. I personally would. But that's basically the AEW Dynamite recap. Is a really damn good Dynamite. Once again, Tony Khan, that's Papa Khan right there, man. That's Papa T, a TK? Papa TK right there, man. And he only gets W's, not O's. Or at least when he gets O's, they're for outstanding. No, I'm just playing with you. That's next level glazing. But let's go ahead and get into our last topic of the day, which is the Indie Spotlight of the Week. Now, I want to start doing this on the podcast more. I'm not going to do it every single dang episode, but I want to do it. No, I probably would do it every single episode, because I usually drop once or twice, like twice a week. By the way, I forgot to say this earlier in the stream, but that after any kind of PLE specials, pay-per-views, I will be going live after those to be recapping those. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be doing All In, because I might be out of state. Not sure yet. Depends on a lot of things that are happening right now. But if I'm not, I will be doing an All In. I will definitely be doing an All In recap, and it'll be like one of the episodes. So if you missed any episode, that's probably why. Or if you want to just be a part of an episode, technically. So yeah. But this Indie Spotlight of the Week, I basically just scroll through YouTube, watch a match, and I'm just going to be talking about the match and the things that I really liked from the match. I'm not going to be talking about anything I didn't like from the match. I'm going to be real with you. I'll give an overall for the match, and that's about it. These are indie wrestlers though, so I'm not expecting like any 5-star matches from like just a random match that I found on YouTube. I'm not gonna do like any like old ass matches. Usually like last year, this year would be like the latest I would go to. If I know these wrestlers are like already signed somewhere, I'm not gonna talk about it. And I want to talk about like less than popular wrestlers. So if y'all do have any suggestions, if you like recommend me Matt Cardona, bruh, I'm not gonna be. I mean, like I might if Matt Cardona's wrestling against somebody that's like really, really small, sure. But it's like Matt Cardona versus like some like big indie wrestler, like freaking I don't know, what's his name? Mike Santana. No, we're not doing this. Mike Santana's signed to TNA. Matt Cardona's basically signed to TNA. So like I want wrestlers that aren't signed to major promotions. Like the one I'm going to talk about today, which I'm going to be highlighting the match, it's a PEW match of Phenomenal Elite Wrestling, I think is the name of it. And it was Posh Princess Kiara versus Hannah Taylor. And this match, I was thoroughly enjoying this match, man. I want to start with Kiara first because, one, I really love Posh Princess Kiara. Obviously, Tiara plays into the whole princess thing. I like that a lot. She wears a tiara, too, so that's really cool. What I've gotten from Posh Princess Kiara, or I'm going to call her Kiara. I'm not using the whole dang thing. What I've gotten from Kiara is that she really, really loves Disney evil like characters, like Disney evil princess. Like there we go, that one works better because she plays this character really damn well, man. Like the way she was like working the crowd, her facial expressions, it just gives off evil princess Disney character, and I just felt that the entire time while I was watching her during her entrances, the way she interacts with the crowd. One thing I got to say too is that her interaction with the crowd, that was amazing because one of the things that hurts a lot of indie wrestlers, and I might even like, well, I'm probably never gonna talk about it, but like, or maybe I will, as in like a more positive way. Something that definitely I've noticed from a lot of indie wrestlers is the interaction with the crowd is either usually basic or non-existent. And I feel like she did it in a more unique way, not a more unique way, but she did it in more of like a professional way where it really made you feel like, does she hate these people in the crowd? Like I was questioning at one point in time, there was some lady that was kind of, getting pushed all back and all that stuff. And I was like, damn, you actually got beef with her? Like I could not tell, man. And then she also had the Prestige with her as well. I'm not sure of his name just because I could not find it. But her interaction with him as well, I think they're actually like a real life couple. But the interaction between these two, the interaction with him and the crowd, their promos they were cutting before the match even started, I thought all of it was just really dang well. And she played the heel character very well in the ring as well. She knows how to slow a match down to make it very heel-esque to the point where you really want to start rooting for the babyface. She even does a leg drop, which by the way, it is 2025. That's how you know that woman is a heel, because she's doing a leg drop. Which by the way, it was a beautiful looking leg drop. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was like, okay, you know what? You're doing a leg drop in 2025. You definitely is a heel, but I do low key like the leg drop. I thought it was pretty dang good looking leg drop. What was the other moves that she did? Oh, like that discus forearm as well that she had. It was really, really dang good. Her strikes to like the strike she did to the back of the head of Hannah was a really good one. And then the most beautiful thing that well, not the most beautiful thing, but one of the most beautiful things in that match, the Styles Clash. She got a Styles Clash for a finisher, but she does the requirement. If you do the Styles Clash, you gotta do the roll up as well. It is a combination. The Styles Clash is more than just hooking them and then dropping them and all that. You gotta roll over and you gotta pin them. 1, 2, 3. She did it. It looked like a thing of beauty. It was very smooth. I absolutely love this match. And I love the fact that, I guess to talk about Hannah Taylor, it did start off a bit rusty. I'm not going to lie to you, because she was coming off of I guess this is like her first batch back since having a stroke and having heart surgery. I think it was like open heart surgery. I think it's the only kind of heart surgery you can actually have. No, I'm stupid. No, you can have other ones. Look, I didn't go to school to be a doctor, all right, man? Don't get on the comments like, oh, how are you a teacher if you don't even know these things? I ain't go, man. Anyway, I'm not even gonna cuss y'all out. But so like this is her first match back, so there was definitely some ring rust that she had to, shake off a bit. And I thought Kiara did a really good job of leading the match and getting her back into the flow of things. I thought Hannah had some really, really good moments as well once she did start picking things up in the match. She had these like really good moments where she got these like springboard monkey flips off. She had 2 of them in the corner. I think one of them was actually one of them was the middle rope, and I think the other one was the top rope. and she looked really, really good coming into the match. She definitely was not rushing, which is a really good thing. I think that a lot of times when people get back into the ring or get into the ring the very first time, they tend to rush a lot, and she was not doing that by any means. She was really letting Kiara lead the match. She's obviously someone who has a lot of experience, so, I think she knew it. But, like, even then, though, like, coming back into, like, the ring and all that stuff after something like that's scary. One, shout out to this woman. You are an absolutely powerful woman. You are more powerful than me, because I would have sat my ass at home and be like, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore, man. Ain't no way. Nope. But no, this woman, definitely powerful woman. I'm not saying anybody that sits at home is not a powerful person as well. You make the decision you want to make. Me personally, I just wouldn't personally do it. But yeah, no, she definitely, allowed things to kind of, get the flow of the match, and she hit these just beautiful sequence of moves. One of them I really, really loved. Had to go watch the match back because I accidentally deleted my photos. I had all my damn notes on there. My goodness. But she hit this, like, you go to Rainmaker or no, it wasn't really a Rainmaker. It's more like a haterade. She just hit like this beautiful haterade onto her, and then got it right into the Rings of Saturn afterwards. Like, it was like a smooth transition, and I gotta say that, like, I seen that a few times from Hannah throughout this match. Is that, like, once she did get into the flow, she started getting really smooth because she got Irish whipped into the corner, and then she sidesteps onto the middle rope, sitting on the middle rope, and then was able to pull Kiara down into a pinning attempt. And I was like, damn, that was actually really, really damn smooth. So it's like, there's a lot of, pros that you could take out of this match, I think. But yeah, no, this match, I just absolutely enjoyed it. Again, this is Posh Princess Kiara versus Hannah Taylor. It's PEW, Phenomenal Elite Wrestling, if y'all want to go check that out. They have some other really good matches over there that I will be talking about in the future as well. I have a whole bunch of other matches that I would love to talk about, in the coming videos and all that stuff. I also do this on TikTok as well, so if you want like a better visual of this match, I would definitely go check that out. But yeah, no, I absolutely enjoyed the match. I had a really fun time watching it. I love that a lot of these indie companies do put their matches online. It feels like in high school, at least for me, when I played basketball, sadly, I didn't get any of my tapes online. That kind of what does, like, it kind of does help you get scouted out by colleges and all that stuff. So I love the fact that they're doing it. I love the fact that a lot of these indie companies are really starting to push more on YouTube, to push more on TikTok, to push more on all of these pages, because it definitely does help the wrestlers out. And we do need people like, I need to be, doing more of this as well to help out the indie wrestlers, because I do want to talk things that aren't just always AEW, WWE, NXT, Ring of Honor, etc. I want to talk about a lot of these indie wrestlers because, one, I want to be the underground folk like y'all. I want to be the day one fan like y'all, but I would also love to see just their growth from indie wrestling to getting to the pros, because I think both of these women are going to go to the pros one day, and I would love to be able to just see that whole entire thing play out. It's really, really cool. It's one of the things I really love about teaching, especially teaching special ed, is I get to see a lot of my students from their freshman year to their senior year and the growth that they've had and all that stuff. But that's going to be it for me, though. Y'all, I definitely hope y'all did enjoy this episode. As always, if you did, like, subscribe, notification bells for more, sharing, comments, rating if you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast at. Goodness gracious, I'm getting tongue-tied. It is super damn hot. Plus, been messing with my shirt a few times now. But it definitely does help out the podcast so much. I appreciate every one of y'all that are checking the podcast out. But that's going to be it for me, though. Y'all have a great one. And good night. I got Kenny to do it. Bang!